Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu Alaikum. Welcome to 1 Chronicles chapter 1, in which there are 54 verses. Beginning in verse 5, we see an omission of the name Helisa. In verse 10, the famous individual named Nimrod, called Nebrod in the Septuagint. Notice also he is called a mighty hunter on the earth. The word hunter was omitted. Why is this important? Well, in the Greek, this word can also mean giant. And there are some who believe that Nimrod was literally a giant, a physical giant. Verses 11 to 23 appear to be absent in the Septuagint. However, they are included in the Alexandrian text. So let's go over the significant differences and omissions in this section. Beginning in verse 22, we see in the Alexandrian, the name for Sheba or Sheba is Saban. In verse 23, the name Jobab or Yobab is Oram. This is important, and we'll see this later in this chapter as to why this is important, because there is another individual named Jobab. 24, there's an addition of Shem. Verse 27, Abram was added. Abram the same. Verse 29, we see Nabdil versus Adbil. We see Masam versus Mibsam. Verse 30, Teman, who is Edom, versus Tema. So Teman can also be understood as Edom, not saying this is Esau or Edom himself, but that is another form of the name Edom. Verse 34, Jacob versus Israel. We're not in that verse. There it is. Jacob versus Israel. Now we know his name eventually did become Israel, but his name at birth was not Israel. And so we see the other Edom, son of Abraham. So where did this other individual named Teman come from? Born of Ishmael. So Ishmael also has a son named Edom. That's interesting. So Ishmael is the brother of Isaac, and Isaac had a son, or two sons, I should say, named Jacob and Edom. So they both had sons named Edom, indirectly anyway. Verse 40, the name Sonan versus Anna. 42, Balaam versus Bilhan. We are familiar with this name Balaam, the one who had a donkey and it spoke. I think this is the same Balaam, to be honest. Could be. Verse 43, an addition of that reigned in the land of Edom before any king, reigned over the children of Israel. Okay, these kings, it says, now these kings that reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the children of Israel. So I mentioned earlier that this name in Jobab, the name Jobab is important because it's not mentioned in the Masoretic, I should say not in the Septuagint until verse 44. This is the actual Jobab, or Yobab, the son of Zerah of Bezorah, who reigned in his stead, instead of Bela, who is Balak. Yes, the same Balak mentioned earlier in the Torah. So who is Jobab? Who was Jobab? Well, we get more information from Job chapter 42 to 17. Jobab is literally the Job from the book of Job. Let's go there. Okay, so we can see in verse 17, talking about Jobab. These are extra details that are not given in the Masoretic text. It says he was a king of Edom. Let's read the full thing. Job died an old man and full of days, and it is written that he will rise again with those whom Hashem raises up. This man is described in the Syriac book as living in the land of Ausis, or Uz, on the borders of Edom and Arabia. And his name before was Jobab, and having taken an Arabian wife, he begot a son whose name was Enon, and he himself was the son of his father, Zerah. Where do we see this? Right here in verse 44 of 1 Chronicles chapter 1. The son of Zerah, of Bazorah. What is Bazorah? Tells us his mother is named Bazorah. So he's not from a place called Bazorah, he's from a place called, I just forgot the name, Ausis, right there, the land of Ausis. So that's his mother's name, so this could better be rendered as the son of Zerah and of Bazorah. Let's continue on. He was the fifth from Abraham, and these were the kings who reigned in Edom, which country he also ruled over. So these were the kings. First Bela or Balak, and where do we see Bela? Right here. Bela died, and Jobab the son. So these are the kings of Edom, Bela, and then after Bela is Jobab, and then Jobab died. It says Husham, and then after Husham, Hadad, Barad. So try to remember those names. Let's look at the rest of 42. Bela, the son of Beor, the name of his city was Denabah. After Bela, Jobab. So Jobab was after, as 1 Chronicles tells us. After him was Husham. Can we confirm this? Yes, Husham was right after. Who was after Husham? Hadad. Does it say Hadad? So Husham was governor out of the country of Taman. After him Hadad, yes, the son of Barad, who destroyed Midian in the plains of Moab, and the name of his city was Gethaim. What does it say in regards to who was? It says Barad was after, and Hadad, the son of Barad, reigned in his stead. Hadad died, so it sounds like Hadad reigned after Husham. Yeah, that's true, okay. And then it says here, Sebla reigned in his stead. We don't see a Sebla because this is not a Chronicles of the Kings. It's only mentioning how many names? These were the kings. So it says here, Bela 1, Jobab 2, Husham 3, Hadad 4. And that's it, just 4. So they named 4 of the 5. But we see in Chronicles, yes, it is a more complete picture. We have Bela, Jobab, Husham 3, Hadad 4. 5 is Sebla, and then Saul of Roboth reigned after, and then after him Baal-la-Enor, and then another Hadad, the princes of Edom. Okay, so let's look at the rest here. It talks about Eliphaz, the friend of Jobab of the children of Esau, king of the Temanites. He's king of Teman. And then Baldad, sovereign of the Sauchaeans or Sauchaeans, and Sophar, king of the Manaeans. So these 3 friends of Job All kings, including Job himself, is a king. Okay, so that's a little sidetrack there, but that's important. That's an important fact. Okay, and we'll go to 50 now. So 50 says there's an omission of son of Barad. Okay, that's important. Peor is the name of a city versus Pai, and we know Baal Peor. There's an addition of, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahab. Verse 51, an addition of Hadad died also. And then we see, that's it. Okay, so that's all for this chapter. Thank you very much for your time. Until next time, I bid you all Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu Alaikum, Irini Mazisu, Pax Vobiscum, peace be unto you, and Maranatha.